Welcome to Western Water Weekly, your source for news across the Colorado River Basin. Here are the key developments from June 22 through June 28, 2025. We begin with a national security alert that has serious implications for public water systems. The United States Department of Homeland Security released a bulletin warning that the escalating conflict with Iran is increasing the risk of both cyber and physical attacks on critical infrastructure, including utilities. Hackers linked to the Iranian government and affiliated groups have shown both intent and capability to infiltrate weak points in American networks. These groups have previously targeted public water systems by trying to access remote control software and even manipulate chemical levels in water supplies. While not every breach becomes a major attack, even small intrusions can disrupt services or create public confusion. The Department of Homeland Security is urging water providers to update cybersecurity practices and for the public to stay alert and report any suspicious activity near water infrastructure. Law enforcement at Lake Powell is preparing for the return of Operation Dry Water over the Independence Day weekend. From July 4th through July 6th, boating safety officers will be focused on removing impaired boaters from the water. Alcohol and drug use while operating a boat is a serious hazard. In Arizona, a blood alcohol level of 0.08% is considered legally impaired, while in Utah, the limit is even lower at 0.05%. That can be as little as 2 drinks. Everyone on the boat is affected by impaired operation, not just the driver. Boaters are also reminded to wear life jackets, especially children under the age of 12, who are required by law to wear them while the boat is moving. Rangers will be present at checkpoints and patrolling the water to help keep everyone safe. A new poll conducted by Morning Consult for the Walton Family Foundation shows that Arizonans overwhelmingly support long-term investment in water resilience and conservation. 91% of voters are concerned about the Colorado River's future, and 89% are worried about groundwater supplies. Most respondents believe the state should fund conservation efforts every year and take steps to protect groundwater basins. Voters strongly favor collaboration among Colorado River Basin states over legal disputes. Drinking water and agriculture top the list of priorities, while tech and mining operations rank much lower. The poll also found high support for strategies like forest restoration, switching to less water-intensive crops, and restoring wetlands. Arizonans are calling for real, practical solutions, not courtroom battles. Meanwhile, legal experts are calling for major reforms in groundwater policy across the West. Professor Warigia Bowman of the University of New Mexico says time is running out to protect the region's aquifers. In a recent Law Journal article, she outlines 4 urgent actions. Clarify what safe yield means, require permits and meters for all wells, provide incentives or mandates for universal metering, and standardize water laws at the state level. Bowman warns that many current laws allow unchecked groundwater use, especially for domestic and livestock wells. She says without clear definitions and consistent oversight, states risk running aquifers dry. Bowman points to New Mexico's permitting system and Utah's stricter policies as examples worth studying. Her message is clear: reform now or face long-term water scarcity. On Capitol Hill, a proposal that would have forced the sale of more than 3 million acres of public land has been stopped, at least for now. The Senate parliamentarian ruled that the provision could not be included in the current budget bill. The measure, which would have opened vast areas across 11 western states to private sale, faced widespread opposition from both environmental groups and members of Congress. Conservation leaders celebrated the ruling but cautioned that similar proposals could return in future legislation. The fight to preserve public land access is far from over. In California, new reports from the Department of Water Resources show that groundwater sustainability efforts are gaining momentum. The Landflex pilot program, launched in 2022, has already conserved over 100,000 acre-feet of groundwater and protected more than 16,000 drinking water wells. Participating farms met groundwater conservation goals years ahead of schedule through a mix of land fallowing, floodwater capture, and reduced pumping. A separate update shows that statewide groundwater storage increased by 2.2 million acre-feet this year. The report also notes fewer dry wells and improved data collection tools. Still, challenges remain, including regional drought, land subsidence, and variability in rainfall. California officials say the state is moving from planning to action, with the goal of building a more resilient groundwater system. Utah released a drought overview this week, offering lessons for the entire Colorado River Basin. More than 95% of Utah's water comes from mountain snowpack, which acts like a natural savings account. When snow is scarce, the whole system struggles. Reservoirs have reached critically low levels, wildlife and fish are stressed, and agriculture faces mounting pressure. The state is responding through a mix of legal tools, public education, and investment in conservation programs. Efforts include managing irrigation more efficiently, reducing fire-prone vegetation, and protecting ecosystems. The shrinking Great Salt Lake is a visible sign of the urgency. Utah is leading a coordinated plan to balance ecological, agricultural, and community needs, an effort other states are watching closely. Finally, the latest drought report from the United States Drought Monitor shows mixed conditions across the West. Arizona remained stable, while parts of northern Utah, northern Colorado, and northern Nevada saw worsening drought. Eastern Wyoming and eastern New Mexico saw some improvements thanks to recent rainfall. The good news? The forecast for early July suggests above-average precipitation across much of the Colorado River Basin. That could bring some temporary relief, especially if monsoon rains arrive on schedule. That wraps up this week's edition of Western Water Weekly. For more in-depth coverage and daily updates, visit westernwater.com. And if you found this report helpful, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and stay waterwise.